Oh boy, the light's on. That means it's recording. Hey, hi there, Chris Sylveta, Simple Listing Solutions, and I want to talk to you about farming for real estate listings, like working a geographic farm area. Let's talk strategy for a minute together right now. At SimpleListingSolutions.com, we help real estate agents work all the different niches that whatever niche they can think of working for listings, fishing for listings, we help them. Whether it's probate, divorce, expired, for sale by owner, geographic farm areas, maybe it's short sales, maybe it's out of town owners who haven't paid their property taxes, right? Maybe you're targeting that niche, right? We help you with that. And we help you by creating landing pages, lead capture landing pages for all those niches that position you as an expert within that field, right? We help you with the reach out campaign, like how do you get the people to go to your landing, like how do you get the divorce prospect to go to your website? How do you get the probate person to go to your website and then say, oh wow, this person does solve all my, wow, right? How do you get them to do that? We got that handled for you too. So let's just talk strategy right now, because at SimpleListingSolutions.com, we're really an ad agency for realtors, right? We make your websites, we make your letters, we make your flyers, we make your postcards, you know, and we teach you how to become a marketer with a real estate license. And we provide strategy training sessions like the one we're going to have right now. Right now, we're going to have a little strategy session around geographic farming. Okay, geographic farming. Let's look at an area of home. Let's just like go up in the sky in a hot air balloon and look down over a neighborhood, and we can see thousands of rooftops. First thing we need to ask ourselves as a marketer, what's the most efficient way to reach those rooftops? Right? What's the most productive way to reach those rooftops? Right? And what's my message going to be to those rooftops? Like, what's my unique service offer? What am I doing? Like, what am I going to say to those people? Right? From the balloon, we can look down, we can see them all. Well, there's different approaches, and not all is, you know, not one is the best for anybody. But let me tell you the different approaches that agents use successfully for geographic farming, and I'll tell you why it's successful. You can do circular dialing, right? There's technology available that allows you to type in a property address and then pull up the whole neighborhood around that address and their phone numbers, cell phone numbers too, right? And so you personally can start calling a neighborhood, right? Or you can have an assistant do it for you, or you can outsource that to somebody in the Philippines or somebody in down the street. Doesn't really matter, right? But phone calls can be made to a neighborhood quickly and efficiently every day, delivering your unique service offer, right? That's one way to farm a neighborhood. Let me give you an example, because that's sort of a strategy, but what's a tactic? Like, what's within that strategy? Well, you could say, I'm going to look at a geographic farm area and I'm going to find a just sold, right? And that's the address that I'm going to type in. So I'm going to pull up all the phone numbers around it. And then my message can be, hey, did you know your neighbors over here at 2132 High Bluff Road just sold their house? They had 22 offers, right? It's sold for over asking price. If you're thinking about putting your home on the market, I'd love an opportunity to interview for the job of selling agent. Your home, your neighborhood is right in our strike zone. Are you thinking about selling your home? Do you know anybody in the neighborhood? Right. That's a great little dialogue around a just sold or a just listed. Right. So that's being done, and that's being done effectively. Now, door knocking. Let's scale down. That's like kind of scaled up, right? And that's from your desk, boom, 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 efficiently, boom, 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 boom. You doing it, somebody else doing it. But let's scale down. Let's talk about door knocking, door to door. Great approach. It converts well when you connect with somebody who needs to sell or who knows somebody who needs to sell. If you've got a good personality, right? It's a great way to do business. My partner kills it in his farm area around the La Costa golf course here in Carlsbad, California. You know, good business, owns farm. So door knocking is a great thing, but here's what you need to know about door knocking. When you're door knocking, a lot of doors won't be open and they won't be answered. Right? A lot of doors, and that depends on what time of day you go and what day you go. But if you go in the middle of the day on a weekday, a lot of doors won't be answered. And so you have to figure, okay, a lot of these doors aren't going to be answered, so I have to have something to leave behind, right? What's that thing that you leave behind? Like when you go door to door, what's that thing you stick in the door jamb at eye level that you're hoping they're going to look at and say, oh, wow, right? What's that thing? So we help you with that thing, right? But let's talk about let's just take our scope. We were looking at like, okay, hey, I could phone dial, and then we adjusted. We looked over this way and said, hey, I could door knock and put something that Chris is talking about in the door, right? Or I could even I can skip the knock. I could just stick things in the door, knowing that 9 out of 10 aren't going to answer. Boom, 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 boom. I can speed up and hit houses faster. Forget the knocking, right? Unless the front door is open, I can set through the screen, hello, or the garage door is open. Right? Forget the even trying to engage. I can just, right? That's the thing, right? But let's talk about your competition right now at getting homeowners underneath those rooftops to respond to your message, right? There's this company called Zillow, right? And now that Zillow, the name has even become sort of ubiquitous with home value reports. So even if they don't go find out what's my home worth on Zillow, right? They'll go, home value report searching, right? And people can do that now, and they know that they can do that now. So when you put a thing, if your thing in the door is free home value report, boy, you got a lot of competition, right? Trash. Right. Think about that. Okay. But what if people live in a community called, let's say, Copper Creek? Let's say you're farming a geographic community. Maybe it's gated, maybe it's not, but it's like a planned community and it has a name. And the name isn't Los Angeles. What's your farm area? Orlando. Wow, really? All 9 million homes? You got to market segment. Like you got to look for a farm that's got turnover, right? You don't go pick a farm that nobody's sold in 9 years, right? Look for a farm area that's got good turnover. What's a good amount? Well, a good amount is going to be based on your budget, your mailing budget, your resources, your ability to walk, knock, talk. How committed are you to it, right? You could bite off a bigger chunk or a smaller chunk. But again, let's back up and let's look at a smaller geographic community with a name like Copper Creek. Okay, and so what if you had a website, right? Copper Creek sales history.info, right? And then you made that website look like Copper Creek. When people went over there, it was branded. There's nice images of Copper Creek, and there's some information about some recent stuff in Copper Creek. And then, they can just get a free report and that will show them every single home sale in Copper Creek in the last 12 months. Right. If you want to see every single home that came on the market in Copper Creek in the last 12 months, more than sold, I'll show you the ones that came on the market that didn't sell, right? I'll show you those too. I'll show you ones that came on the market were just canceled, came back off the market, and I'll show you the ones that came on the market and sold, right? 12-month history of Copper Creek. And that'll give you, the homeowner, real good clarity on what's happening in your specific neighborhood, unlike Zillow, right? Unlike any of those free online home value reports, my Copper Creek sales history report is going to be detailed and accurate to your neighborhood, and it's free, right? Well, that would be a kind of cool thing to let people know in Copper Creek, right? When you're door knocking, when you're leaving stuff behind, that they can go over there and they can get that, right? And if you want to be like Emerald Lagasse and just like throw some spice in there and crank that up a little bit, crank that tactic up a little bit, you can, right? You can crank it up with like what we call a nosy neighbor program, where you start, when you do talk to people, because you go out on the weekends or in the evenings when they're home, you're going to have people start giving you their names and their email addresses. Oh, I'd be happy to join your nosy. Oh, wow, that sounds great. And they'll sign up for your nosy neighbor program. Right, so you people that aren't ready to do anything right now, if you engage with them properly, they're going to say, hey, yeah, here's my email address, right? Keep me in the loop. And you can put them on your newsletter list, because we've got a newsletter called the Welcome Mat, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do to farm, right? But they're going to be, the decider, what are you going to do, is going to be, quite frankly, your budget and your personality, right? Do you have money for mail? Right? Do you have money for mail? Do you have money? If you don't have money for me, you want to do that circular dialing thing? You've got to buy the technology for that. You can use landvoice.com, maybe Rebo Gate, not Rebo Gateway, the redx.com, Mojo. You may be able to find some. Just Google speed dialer, not speed dialer. You know what I'm talking about. So you can do dialing, you can do mailing, you can do walking, knocking, talking, right? And you can take that strategy I gave you around a specific geographic community, and you can have 3 or 4 communities that you target, right? Tuesday you walk this one, Thursday you walk this one, Saturday you do that one, and pick another day, and that could just be your routine, right? And you've got specific websites for each community. Right. So there's some farming strategies for you, kinds of things that we can help you with. If you like those ideas, we can help you. Farming around just solds and just listeds is a great idea. Open house strategies, we've got a ton of them that make you money, that are a great way to grow your business. You can borrow other agents' inventory within your farm and hold it open for them. We've got a ton of great ideas around that stuff. So again, I'm Chris with SimpleListingSolutions.com, and if you'd like to bring us onto your team, we join your team. It's a month-to-month relationship. It's not an annual contract, and it's affordable. You'll bring us onto your team, and we'd love to help you not only work geographic farm areas, but if you want to work probate and FSBOs and expireds and divorce and short sales and all that stuff, orchestrate more referrals from your sphere of influence, we got all the bases covered for you, right? All the bases covered for you. You need a primary website with search for homes, I'll learn about me, all that stuff. We got you covered. We got you covered. If you're spending more than $99 a month right now and you're not getting an awesome newsletter and a primary website and all these different things that I'm talking about for all the niches, and somebody to help you understand how to implement these things, then you're wasting money. Come on over to Simple Listing Solutions and let us help you. That's all. That's my conversation with you today around farming, and go do good work. Bye.